Another beautiful day. Another beautiful day for a ride. Only thing is, we've got to find an excuse to go for a ride these days, don't we? Who would have thought you would have had to find an excuse to go for a motorbike ride? But I guess we're all in that boat at the moment. We've all got to find an excuse to go somewhere. So firstly, I think the Australian government have done a really good job of what they're calling flattening the curve by imposing all these restrictions on everyone. It definitely seems to be working, but the one thing that has everybody sort of confused, certainly at least in the motorcycling world, is am I allowed to go for a motorbike ride? And if so, where am I allowed to go to? So we know that you can go to Woolies, and we know that you can go and get your bike washed, and there's things you can do. You can get out of the house, there's no doubt about that. Whether or not motorcycling constitutes exercise, well, I don't know whether that's legit. It's certainly good for your mental health, and it's certainly good for your mental well-being. And to be honest, I think if you're out riding your motorbike, I don't think anyone's going to pull you over, to be honest. If you're on your own, you're not with a group of people being a dickhead, and you're just out having a bit of a solo ride, I don't think anyone's going to annoy you. I don't think any cops are going to pull you over. Yeah, so you wouldn't be Scott Morrison for quids. What Scott Morrison's had to put up with in his sort of last 6 months or first year in office, some prime ministers haven't had to put up with in their entire duration as prime ministers. Started off in one of the worst droughts in Australian history, and of course that was all his fault. And then the bushfires came along due to the fact that the country was so dry, so of course that was all his fault too. And then he went to Hawaii on holidays with his family, because that's what families do, they go on holiday. And then he got slammed for that. And then he came back to Australia and he did his job, he did it well. And then the bloody coronavirus came along. And I think him and his team and the National Cabinet have done a pretty darn good job of keeping Australia safe and keeping the cases relatively low compared to other countries. But getting back to motorbike riding during the pandemic, I mean, this is the most important thing. Never mind Scott Morrison. This is the most important thing. So there's no doubt about the fact that it's been tough for some people sitting at home, and mental health is certainly, or should at least be, top of the agenda. And in my view, if shops are allowed to stay open, you shouldn't be booked for going to them. So you should be allowed to go to Woolies, and the fact that you do that 10 times a day is your business. They can't stop you from washing your bike because you want to keep it clean. That's pretty essential. Barber shops are open, so you're allowed to go and get a haircut. That's pretty essential. Going for exercise is pretty essential. The fact that you want to walk along a beach that's 20 k's from your house, well, that's your business. You like the walking on that beach. You're on your own. You're not breaking any social distancing laws. I think if we all just employ a little bit of common sense, I think we'll all get through this. There was an article written in, I think it was Motorbike Weekly, I want to say, or something like that. Anyway, I'll pull it up on screen. And it was tackling the issue of motorcycle riding during the pandemic. And now in this article they maintain that they contacted all the relevant states and territories. I can't confirm that they actually did that, but they don't actually say sort of who they spoke with as such, just that they contacted the relevant authorities. And from what I can gather, most authorities were all unanimous that it was okay to go motorcycle riding. So you could always print that out. I'll leave a link below, and you could always print that out and take it with you. But like I said, it's unconfirmed, so we don't know how true it is. But there's no doubt that motorcycle riding is good for your mental health, and I very much doubt any cop is going to pull over a solo motorcycle rider, because they're just not breaking any social distancing laws. I think that they've got better things to be doing. I think they're more concerned with groups of people disobeying the distancing rules. Talking about cops, there's one there. G'day mate. I think as long as you've got a story about where you're going and what you're doing, I think you're going to be pretty okay. And I think the other thing is, if you stay relatively close to your postcode, you're going to be okay too, unless you've got a darn good reason to be outside your postcode. Yesterday I had to go to Harley Davidson in Port Macquarie to pick up a few things, so that was essential that I did that, because it was taking up room in the HD sort of shop there, and they needed me to come and get it, so I went and got it. But you know, I didn't muck around. I went to the dealership, picked up what I had to get, and went home again. So I think what we just take from all of this is that we've all got a role to play in getting through this together. There's no reason why you can't leave your house for exercise on your motorbike, for a ride, for mental health, to go to Woolies, get your bike washed, go and get a haircut, and go home again. At least that's what I'm going to be doing, and dodging pensioners as well. I hope this helps, guys. Have a good one. See you in the next one. Peace.